Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. US President Donald Trump sends strong message to world leaders. This is breaking news coming out of the United States of America. Donald Trump sends strong message to world leaders. Colombia backs down from Trump after there was a back and forth between Donald Trump and the president of Colombia in regards to the illegal immigrants crisis in America. Donald Trump is deporting hundreds of illegal immigrants back to their country, and Colombia was the latest victim. Donald Trump sent 2 military planes to Colombia, and the president said, no, we're not going to allow it. Well, who told him to say that? Donald Trump retaliated with 25% tariff and the revocation of US visas for the president of Colombia and all of his government ministers. In about less than an hour after that, the president of Colombia went back to Donald Trump and said, oh, we'll reconsider. I will send my presidential plane to America to collect our illegal immigrants who are in the United States at this time. During Donald Trump's inauguration a few days ago, he signed a number of executive orders, one of which was to start the deportation of thousands of illegal immigrants back to their own countries, and that started the next day of office, my friends. Donald Trump is not playing around. He's sending a strong message to world leaders, and he used Colombia president as the he used him as a measurement, as a tool to show world leaders that he is not joking around. And I have a clip here that I'm going to play. It's just about 2 minutes long, and it's coming from a news reporter in the US. I want you to have a listen, and then I'll come back with my analysis. CNN, BBC, they're all releasing that news about Donald Trump deportation of illegal immigrants, and the president of Colombia backs down from Donald Trump. Now have a listen.
News coming in overnight. An agreement between the Trump administration and Colombia to end a standoff over deportation flights and tariffs that could have raised prices for Americans on coffee and fresh flowers just ahead of Valentine's Day. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is in Miami, where Trump is meeting with Republican lawmakers. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And this was a tense standoff, a tit-for-tat between the United States and one of its most important allies in Latin America. But a senior administration official tells me all of it was designed to send a very clear message. Accept these deportation flights or face the consequences.
With the U.S. and Colombia on the brink of a trade war over President Donald Trump's deportation flights, overnight the White House announcing an agreement has been reached. For hours, the two allies locked in a tense standoff after Colombia refused to accept 2 military deportation flights from the U.S., turning them away when the planes were already en route. President Trump responding, vowing to impose 25% tariffs on all Colombian imports, which experts say would have devastated Colombia's economy and raised the price of everything from coffee to crude oil, bananas, and flowers for U.S. consumers just before Valentine's Day. The United States is Colombia's largest trading partner. Colombian President Gustavo Petro fired back with tariffs of his own, insisting he would only accept migrants deported in civilian aircrafts who were treated with dignity and respect. The Colombian president referencing this deportation flight to Brazil. Authorities there say some were denied water and access to a bathroom. Overnight, the White House announcing the two sides have reached an agreement. vowing to hold off on those tariffs, but still imposing visa restrictions and halting visa services at the U.S. Embassy until those deportation flights land in Colombia. In a statement, the White House press secretary warning President Trump expects all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States.
We don't allow
Deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States.
We don't allow people to enter our country and to dump their prisons into the United States of America anymore.
For the first time in U.S. history, military aircrafts have been used to deport undocumented migrants. Our Martha Raddatz sitting down with Trump's supporters are Tom Homan.
What about those countries that won't take them back?
Oh, they'll take them back.
What do you mean by that?
We had President Trump come to power. President Trump puts America first.
Homan overseeing a steady increase.
We had President Trump come to power. President Trump puts America first.
Homan overseeing a steady increase in ICE arrests, with officials from multiple law enforcement agencies launching a joint operation in Chicago Sunday. Immigration crackdowns now spanning from Atlanta to Los Angeles and even Omaha.
There you had
This
it, my
morning in a
friends.
statement, the Colombian government says that it has overcome an impasse with the
There
United
you had
States,
it.
saying that they plan to send representatives to Washington, D.C. to meet with the Trump administration, but the White House press secretary says to Washington, D.C. to meet with the Trump administration, but the White House press secretary says if Colombia violates any terms of this agreement, those tariffs are back on.
Breaking news coming in overnight. An agreement between the
Yes, there you had it, my friends. Colombia would have tried to stand up to Donald Trump, and that didn't go well. Donald Trump slapped 25% tariffs on Colombian goods coming from Colombia, and that would have said to devastate Colombia's economy. Having that type of level of tariffs overnight would have devastated the trade of Colombian goods to the United States and devastated the Colombian economy, because Colombia is one of the largest exporters of goods to America, from fruits, vegetables, flowers, coffee, flour, you name it. Colombia export goods to America. So Donald Trump said those tariffs, because the president came back to the table and said we're gonna send our planes to collect our illegal immigrants, he removed those tariffs, but the visa restrictions remain on until they actually receive all of their illegal immigrants from America. That is how Donald Trump is playing, my friends. He's playing chess, and world leaders are running scared, my friends. World leaders are beginning to panic because Donald Trump is not playing around. He has served as president before. He lost, and now he is in the White House again, and he knows all the tricks in the book now. He is hitting the ground running. President of America, Donald J. Trump, he signed a number of executive orders on his inauguration day, one of which will stop aid from going to all foreign countries for 90 days pending review. After those 90 days, he will decide what to continue, if any. Also, the immigration, the deportation, Donald Trump enacted a 17th century law from the U.S. Constitution to set all illegal immigrants, gangs in the United States, criminals, are now enemy, and he has the power to send the military and the full might of the American justice system upon the criminals and illegal immigrants in the country. So the U.S. Army is now at the border, and they are using all the resources of America. It is so devastating that U.S. Congress is meeting today. The U.S. Senate is meeting today, and they are having a robust discussion in the Senate and the House in the United States of America to decide. Some are saying it's too harsh and it's too fast. It's shock and awe in America. That is what Donald Trump promised. Shock and awe. And he said it will happen so fast that it will be never be seen, never before seen in America what he is doing now. He said that during his campaign. He said that he will deport illegal immigrants so fast that it will shock everybody. And so said, so done. That is exactly what is happening, my friends. Just today, CNN released a news article which headlines, Colombia backs down on accepting deportees on military planes after Trump's tariff threats. This is what CNN wrote. Colombia has walked back from the brink of a damaging trade war with the United States, reaching an agreement on accepting deportees, migrants being returned on military planes after a fury of threats from President Donald Trump that included steep tariffs up to 25%. Colombia said Sunday evening it had agreed to all of President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of immigrants who entered the U.S. illegally after 2 U.S. military planes carrying deportees were blocked from entering the country. This is what the the foreign minister of Colombia, Luis Gilberto Murillo, said. We will continue to receive Colombians and Colombian women who return as deportees, guaranteeing them decent conditions as citizens subject to rights, Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo said. In a televised statement, he added U.S. deportation flights had resumed and the Colombian presidential plane was being prepared to assist in repatriating citizens. The White House also backed off its threats to impose tariffs on Colombia, fails to honor this agreement, adding other penalties including visa sanctions and custom inspection on Colombian nationals, and cargo ships will stay in place until the first plane of Colombian deportees is successfully returned. Today's events make it clear to the world that America is respected again. President Trump will continue to fiercely protect the nation's sovereignty and expect all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting all other nationals or world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportees of their citizens illegally present in the United States, the White House said in a statement. The announcement brings an end to a chaos weekend that threatened to raise coffee prices for American consumers and impact hundreds or thousands of Colombian workers. It is also the first time Trump took major action against another country over his immigration policy since he took office last week. The feud began early Sunday when the U.S. military flights carrying deportees to Colombia, documents reviewed by CNN showed Colombia had previously improved the flights through Colombian President Gustavo Petro dispute he had authorized them. And U.S. officials claim authorization was revoked once the planes were en route. Pedro blocked the plane from landing, accusing the U.S. of threatening treating Colombian migrants like criminals, prompting Trump to order steep tariffs on all Colombian imports, a travel ban on Colombian citizens, and the revoking of visas for Colombian officials in the United States, and suspending visa processing for both immigrants and non-immigrant visas. The visa restrictions are particularly extraordinary as they are usually reserved for adversaries and individuals who have committed human rights abuses, while Colombia is a major non-NATO ally of the US and for decades has been the closest partner in South America. Well, Trump has no partner. Trump is telling them what he wants and they will obey. That is the only partnership that Trump wants from these countries now. In response to Pedro's threat of retaliatory tariffs on the US and attacked Donald Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio on social media, writing, this is what Marco Rubio, "You will never see me burning a US flag or carrying out raids to return handcuffed illegal immigrants to the US." By Sunday evening, the White House announced two countries had reached their agreement. The face-off also demonstrated the potential challenges facing countries as they brace for Trump's immigration crackdown, with the new president also threatening tariffs on Canada and Mexico over border issues, and the perceived early victory over Colombia seemed to have emboldened some in the White House. Trump is not playing around, my friends. He is definitely not playing around. And those executive orders that Donald Trump made during his inaugural ceremony, he is implementing every single one of them. One that will affect Caribbean and African people, our people, is the stopping of aid, US aid, from the US to Africa and the Caribbean. The US don't really send a lot of aid to the Caribbean. All they do is assist here and there in the climate, whatever climate change deal they had going on. And they assist in African countries with the World Health Organization and other foods and AGOA from that's the trade set up in Africa so that the US would collect African goods duty free. But apart from that, it's not a significant amount of money that the Caribbean and Africa get from America. So I'm sure that's neither here nor there at this point. But that was breaking news coming out of the US. And also, this immigration crisis in the US is significant because there are millions of African and Caribbean immigrants in America, millions of South American immigrants in America, and Donald Trump is starting with illegal immigrants who have a criminal record or those who enter the US illegally. He is sending them back immediately to Colombia. If you're watching my channel for the first time, make sure please consider subscribing to my channel. Like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and most importantly, please comment your thoughts and opinion on what you think about Donald Trump cracking his whip on world leaders. Colombia being the latest victim. Pedro would have backed down from Donald Trump, and President Donald Trump is sending a strong message to world leaders worldwide that they will take all of their illegal immigrants back or face 25% tariffs, visa restrictions on your citizens, and other sanctions that will be sent by the US to other countries if they refuse to take back their illegal immigrants. My name is Beyond. This is Beyond Uncut. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to watch my other videos. I did a video yesterday about the mass deportation of illegal immigrants from the US due to Donald Trump's executive order just a few days ago. Yes, mass deportation from the US. Donald Trump is deporting illegal immigrants from the US using military planes, and if countries refuse to take back their migrants, they will be hit with 25% tariffs and visa restrictions for their citizens and residents. My friends, I also have another channel called Beyond Travel. You can check it out in this description box. Go on over, watch the channel. That channel will be focused on traveling and visas and all of that good stuff. If you want to learn more, go on over and subscribe to that channel. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, my main channel, already, please consider subscribing. I will be posting a video every day from today until the end of the month, and then we will see where we go from there. But I'll be posting more often. I'll see you again tomorrow on this channel. The mission of this channel is to bridge the gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. We are one people separated by slavery and colonialism. The African continent and the African diaspora, which includes the Caribbean nations, African Americans, Afro-Canadians, Afro-British, and Afro-Europeans worldwide. We are one people, and we let us bridge the gap and come together as one. Work closer together. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you again in the next video. Much love, and bye-bye.